Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here with a special opening day episode today. The long winter is over and the day that us baseball fans have been looking forward to for many months is finally upon us. It is opening day. We have MLB games that count here as we begin the long road towards the conclusion of the 162 game 2023 season, with of course the MLB playoffs to follow. Really excited for the baseball action that's to come. And I have 5 graded baseball card pickups that I've made over, say, the last month or so here, getting ready for opening day as spring training's been underway and the World Baseball Classic. And I think all 5 of these do a really good job proving a point that I feel like I make constantly here on the channel. And that is, you do not need to spend a lot of money to collect fun and interesting and unique and cool baseball cards, regardless of era. So I have a couple modern cards here and a couple vintage cards here, and none of them, as we're going to see, really set me back any significant money. So let's start with the newest card and work our way backwards through the 5 that I have queued up here. The first is a 2023 card, starting with an absolutely new release, the Topps flagship release for 2023. This is the Mookie Betts Gold. Of course, serial numbered out of 2023. The gold cards have been serial numbered now to year of production, going all the way back to the early 2000s. So coming up on almost 25 years of the serial numbered Topps Gold parallel. And of course, as many others have noted, the serial numbering scheme stays the same, while the overall print run for the top set kind of goes up and up year after year. And as a result, these cards are harder than ever to pull out of product, whether retail or hobby. And so I found this one already graded in an SGC 9.5. SGC ran a promotion where they would grade your 2023 Topps cards for like $9 a piece. So I believe the seller took advantage of that, sent in this Mookie Betts, and I got this Mint Plus Mookie Topz Gold. It was $15 on a best offer. Listed at 20 or best offer. I offered 15 and it was accepted almost immediately. Here's the back with the serial numbering here, in this case in silver foil in the upper right. Not the biggest fan of this release, to be honest with you. I've been a little bit critical of the design, but couldn't miss an opportunity to get a Gold Betts graded at a high grade into the collection for $15. Next up, we go back a few years, and this is actually, believe it or not, the most expensive card of the 5 that we're going to look at today at $25.09. So here it is from 2019 Topps Heritage. This is the Shohei Ohtani Chrome, numbered out of 999, as these have been for a few years running now. In Heritage, has that awesome like background, like stippling effect that you're used to from the Heritage chromes and refractors. Just a gorgeous card. I love the simple batting pose. I love this old school retro All-Star Rookie trophy, the extra large size one, which I think is even nicer than the Rookie Cup that we've gotten in more recent years. And yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about this. I actually bought this after the World Baseball Classic was over. So we had that, of course, huge game in the final where, he struck out Mike Trout for the final out of the game after getting Mookie Betts to ground into a double play. Prior to that, just dominating on the world's biggest stage, both on offense and pitching. It was a dream game for baseball fans, and certainly for Ohtani fans, and a significant moment in his career. And despite that, picked this card up, this second year Topps Heritage numbered card, already graded for $25. So pretty happy with that. Again, here's a look at the back. And in the upper right, you can see this is copy 526 of 999. So there's a nice Shohei to go with that Mookie Betts. 2 of the younger, I guess, mid-career now stars that I am most looking forward to seeing in action this year. Next up, we have one from my kind of collecting heyday as a kid, the 80s. Got into the hobby in the spring of 1990. So these 80s cards were everywhere, and they're kind of just very memorable and nostalgic to me. And decided that really over the last few years to try to fill in some players that I like in relatively high grades, typically PSA 9s. And recently I found the 84 Topps Cal Ripken Jr. Really crisp copy there in a PSA 9, just absolutely perfect. I know I say this often, but to my eye, I don't have like a jeweler's loupe or anything like that. I don't own one, but to my naked eye, I don't really see anything that would prevent this card from being a 10. Perfectly centered, perfectly clean surface. Corners look good, edges look good. Really just a really, really gorgeous example. Back looks good as well, nicely centered. No white showing, no edge peeling, no corner damage. This is an absolutely gorgeous looking PSA 9. It's everything I look for in a mint 9, and just really happy to get this. This is Cal's third year card, of course, with his rookie coming in my birth year, 1982. And he was a favorite player of mine growing up, which I've talked about plenty of times before. And I think that's a combination of, his rookie card coming in my birth year, but also him breaking Lou Gehrig's streak when I was at a very impressionable young age. He broke that record just a few days after I turned 13 years old, and I still remember so fondly that record-breaking evening, watching that on the television with my dad in our living room, and that just kind of further cemented Cal Ripken as a favorite of mine. He's sort of a hobby titan, very successful player, obviously Hall of Famer, multiple-time MVP, all that good stuff, but he's one who gets just as much respect in the hobby as he did on the diamond. So he's included in a ton of sets and really fun to collect, but is sort of a bargain price-wise compared to guys like, Ken Griffey Jr. or, Mike Trout, other players of that top tier. So really having fun getting some Ripken lately. And there's one for today's video, but I do have some other graded Cal Ripken cards coming soon. Got two more to go here, and we're going to drop all the way back to the 1960s now. This first one is not a card that I was really looking for specifically, but it was just kind of happenstance that every once in a while I will just take a look at auctions, ending within the next few minutes for graded cards and kind of see what's finishing up. Saw this one, seemed priced too low to be true, and ended up winning it for $14.75. The 1968 Topps Sporting News All-Star Brooks Robinson. Sort of a weird facial expression here from Brooks on this card, so I can see why this maybe wouldn't be one of the most aesthetically pleasing Brooks Robin cards in his entire run, but at $14 and change for a copy that's well-centered like this and looks really nice. I just love Robinson as a player. Obviously, I never got to see him play with my own two eyes, but I love that he was a master of defense, known as the human vacuum cleaner. Got a chance to see his statue outside Oriole Park at Camden Yards a couple of years back now when my wife and I took a trip down there to see the Red Sox play the Orioles. And just a player that I really respect. And while I prefer base cards to the All-Star cards typically, again, for $14, pounced on this one and just happy to expand my Brooks Robinson collection by a little bit. And then we're going to finish off with the cheapest of all the cards in today's order, despite being the oldest, probably because it's graded a lowly 4, but I think it looks fantastic. And this is one of those cases where a grade of a 4 kind of blows my mind, and I would never need to upgrade it. From the 1965 Topps release, Curt Flood of the St. Louis Cardinals. Tell me that is not a classic-looking baseball card right there. I love the hotel or whatever that is in the background, but that aside, just a perfect stoic pose here of Curt, bat in hand, staring into the camera. And obviously, I'm not going to give a full breakdown on his career, but in addition to everything that he did for, the labor union and player rights later in his career, he was also just a damn good baseball player. I think he was a Gold Glove winner for multiple years running, maybe even 7 or 8 years running. I know multiple years he led his league in singles. Just a really good contact hitter, top of the order type guy. And again, really admirable for what he did and the sacrifices that he made in his own career and to his own production and numbers for the betterment of rights of all players, not just in his generation, but in future generations to come. So if we take a look at the back of this as well, pretty nice, clean back, a little bit of a corner flubbing up here, but I mean, that is, if I could find more 1965 Topps cards in a grade of 4 that looked like this, I would buy them all up. I can't believe, pretty astounded that this was $12 and change, but just an example of what you can stumble into by kind of casting a wide net and just seeing what you run into, listed out there at auction on eBay and other sites like it. So that is a wrap. I've been just over 10 minutes here, so we'll try to keep this short and sweet. Hope you enjoyed these 5 new pickups. Hope you're as excited for opening day as I am. Whoever your team is or whatever players you're rooting for, wish you the best of luck in this baseball season. I certainly appreciate you stopping by to check out some discount baseball slabs, and I'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Till then, take care and enjoy the hobby, everybody.